Hey everyone, welcome back to TechMechie. Today we'll be looking at 3 entry-level Android tablets that cost about $100. The Amazon Fire HD8 Plus, which was released in October of 2022, the Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite, which was released in June of 2021, and the Lenovo Tab M8 3rd Gen, which was released in February 2022. When I purchased these 3 tablets in November of 2022, they were all on sale for under $100. But right now, the Samsung and Amazon tablets are priced slightly higher than $100, so keep an eye out for sales if your budget is under $100. At first, it might be hard for shoppers to decide between these 3 tablets, but once I break down the differences between them, it'll probably be easier for you to decide on which one you'd like to purchase based on how you plan to use it. Starting out with the build quality of each tablet. Both the Samsung and Lenovo tablets have an aluminum backing that gives them a more premium feel over the Amazon tablet. It makes them feel more solid and put together. The Amazon has a plastic backing, and the buttons feel a little flimsy and loose compared to the other 2 tablets. Looking at the front of the tablets, you can see the Amazon has the largest bezels around its screen. The Samsung and Lenovo both have a more traditional tablet layout that favors holding the tablet in a portrait orientation. The power and volume buttons are located on the longer right side of both tablets. However, Lenovo took an approach some may find unintuitive by placing the power button below the volume buttons. Since most smartphones have their power button placed above the volume controls, many, including myself, may accidentally hit the power button while looking to adjust the volume. This will turn the screen off, which can be pretty annoying depending on what you're doing. The Amazon tablet clearly favors being held in the landscape orientation, based on the location of the physical buttons, the speakers, and the front-facing camera. This fits with the idea that the Amazon tablet is primarily designed for media consumption. The Amazon Fire HD8 Plus has 2 speakers on the top long side of the tablet. The Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite also has 2 speakers, one on each short side of the tablet. And the Lenovo Tab M8 only has 1 speaker on its top short side. All 3 of the tablets have USB-C ports for charging and data transfer. They also all include a microSD XC card slot for storage expansion. The Lenovo and Samsung require the included pins to eject the card slot holders, while the Amazon has a more convenient cover tab that can be opened with a finger. Finally, each tablet has a 3.5mm headphone jack. The Samsung and Lenovo both come with the same MediaTek Helio P22T chipset. The Amazon uses the MediaTek MT8169A chipset. Neither of these chipsets are processing powerhouses, but they are powerful enough for basic tasks as well as playing games and media consumption. All 3 of these tablets have 3GB of memory, which is the minimum amount of memory I would recommend for anyone buying a tablet in 2023. These 3 models I tested also came with 32GB of storage. However, about half of that storage is reserved for the operating system and some installed apps, so you're realistically getting about 16GB of storage out of the box. To help with storage, all 3 tablets have a microSD slot for expandable storage. The Amazon and Samsung tablets can support up to 1 TB of expandable memory, and the Lenovo can support up to 2 TB. All 3 tablets also have LCD screens, capable of 720p resolution. You'll also find cameras in the back and selfie cameras in the front on all 3 tablets. The Amazon and Samsung tablets offer 15-watt wired charging, while the Lenovo offers a 10-watt solution. The Amazon can also be charged wirelessly at 10 watts. If you're interested in using a tablet for navigation, the Samsung and Lenovo tablet contain GPS chips. The Amazon is the only tablet in this group without GPS. Because these tablet screen sizes are under 9 inches, they're all pretty easy to handle. The Lenovo is the lightest tablet overall, followed by the Amazon and then the Samsung. But because the Amazon is made of plastic and has a less solid feel to it, it actually feels lighter in my hands than the Lenovo. I found that the Lenovo and Amazon are both easier to handle one-handed because of their smaller sizes and weights. Like I said earlier, these 3 tablets have entry-level chipsets. They shouldn't be expected to handle high-productivity apps. They're better suited for light tasks like web browsing, media consumption, and e-reading. The operating systems on the Samsung and Lenovo both have a pretty basic Android layout, with pages where you can add shortcuts for apps as well as widgets. Navigating through feels fluid enough on both tablets, although it does feel like the Samsung frequently has more updates downloading and installing that can slow down responsiveness. The Amazon uses an Android-based OS called Fire OS, which is centered around the Amazon ecosystem of shopping and media consumption. Instead of including the Google Play Store, the Amazon Fire HD8 Plus comes with the Amazon App Store. It has most of the major apps you need, but don't expect to find more obscure Android apps. And Google apps like YouTube and Gmail aren't available. There are ways to get the Google Play Store on the Amazon, but the installation methods might be intimidating for a lot of folks, so many will probably just stick to using the Fire HD 8 Plus as a media player instead of a full-blown Android device. I observed the best video quality on the Samsung. It gave the sharpest and cleanest image on Amazon Prime, Hulu, and YouTube videos that I watched. However, the Amazon gave the most accurate picture as far as color reproduction and grayscale. You can see all the measurements I recorded for these tablets in a separate video I made. I'll link to it at the end of this video if you're into that kind of data. The video quality on the Amazon was a little less sharp than the Samsung, but it was a little easier on the eyes due to its slightly warmer color temperature. The Lenovo had the poorest video playback that I observed. The picture typically showed artifacts and never looked as clean as the other two tablets. The Amazon easily outperformed the other two tablets in battery life. As a stress test, I set the brightness of each tablet to 158 nits, streamed Jurassic World Dominion on a loop, and recorded the time it took for each to drain from 100% battery charge to 0. The Amazon clocked 790 minutes, or 13 hours and 10 minutes of dinosaur chases before powering off. The Lenovo clocked 664 minutes, and the Samsung came in last with 576 minutes. Although since the Samsung has the largest screen out of the three, that's to be expected. These numbers equate to about 5 1/3 full showings of Jurassic World Dominion on the Amazon, versus 4.5 showings on the Lenovo, and just under 4 on the Samsung. That's a lot of Jurassic World Dominion. How many times have you watched that movie? Let me know in the comments below. The speaker on the Lenovo doesn't sound too bad, but since the other two tablets have two speakers, they do manage to produce a fuller sound. All three tablets have Dolby Atmos. However, you may have to struggle to actually hear any difference when Atmos is enabled or disabled. It may be more obvious when using a decent pair of headphones, but I think this is more of a gimmick than anything else. The Amazon didn't have Atmos enabled by default, and the toggle is hidden in the controls. Swipe down on the top-down controls twice until you see the little pencil icon on the bottom left. Then click on the pencil and you'll see the Dolby Atmos button at the bottom. You can hold onto it and drag it into the main control area to enable it. Overall, I felt the Samsung had the most impactful sound, but hooking the tablets up to Bluetooth speakers or headphones will probably give you a better audio experience. All three tablets handled basic gaming well. Motion handling was smooth enough on games like Asphalt 9, but loading times can get pretty long for more resource-demanding games. If you mostly play puzzle games or games with simpler graphics, you should be fine with any of these three tablets. The cameras on all three tablets are pretty lousy, but this shouldn't really come as a surprise to anyone. I've included the same image taken with the Google Pixel 6a smartphone to show what these images look like compared to a decent smartphone camera. The 5-megapixel rear cameras on the Amazon and Lenovo really lack fine details, with poor color accuracy. The Samsung's 8-megapixel rear camera was able to capture more details, but colors were so washed out and undersaturated I had to check to make sure there wasn't some weird filter active on the camera app. Let's check out the included accessories with these tablets. The Samsung and Lenovo come with pins to pop out the microSD card slots. The Amazon doesn't need one because you can open the lid with a finger. All three of these tablets include adapters and USB-C cables for charging, although Amazon and Samsung really cut corners on these. The Lenovo supports 10-watt charging, and Lenovo is generous enough to include a 10-watt adapter. The Amazon and Samsung both support 15-watt wired charging, but the included Amazon adapter is rated at 9 watts, while the Samsung's is rated at only 7.75 watts. This means these adapters won't provide the fastest charge times possible for these two tablets. You can see in my charging test that the Amazon and Samsung had slower charging times than the Lenovo when using the included charging adapters. This is not because the Lenovo has a smaller capacity battery. The Lenovo and Samsung both have 5100 mAh batteries. It's the adapters that are causing the slow charge, with the Samsung taking over 3.5 hours to reach 100%. I use my own 15-watt adapter to charge the Amazon and Samsung, and you can see how much faster these devices can charge when using the proper adapter. So I would strongly recommend using a 15-watt adapter if you purchase the Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. Also, the USB-C cable that comes with the Samsung is only about 2.5 feet, which is pretty useless. So I definitely give the Samsung an F for this included accessory. One more included accessory I'll briefly discuss is the boxes the tablets come in. If you're not going to buy a case for these tablets, it's a good idea to keep the boxes if you plan on traveling around with them. The Samsung has the sturdiest box out of the three. You'll definitely get some decent protection if you're planning to carry the tablet around in a suitcase or a backpack. The Amazon Fire HD 8 Plus definitely has the flimsiest box out of the three. You're probably not going to get much decent protection using this. And the Lenovo's box has a decently sturdy frame, but the slide-on cover is pretty thin. I would definitely point the Lenovo screen towards the inside of the box while traveling with it. Even though these tablets are in the same ballpark as far as price is concerned, they're still pretty different as far as functionality goes. So users should decide what they want most from a tablet before deciding on which of these they want to buy. The Amazon Fire HD 8 Plus is the media consumption winner of the three. You can get the most hours of binge watching off one battery charge, and the video and audio quality are pretty decent. But because you are limited to only using the Amazon App Store out of the box, the Fire HD 8 Plus doesn't have the capability of being a full-fledged Android device. If you use a lot of obscure Android apps, like an app for your local school or library, you may not be able to download it through the Amazon App Store, which may limit the tablet's functionality for some users. I would recommend going to Amazon.com, changing the search bar criteria to apps and games, and searching to see if apps you use regularly are available from Amazon. Here you can see that Hulu, a very common app, is available. But if I search for a less popular app, like Mobile Forge, which is the app I use to measure certain aspects of the tablet's display, you can see it's not available in the Amazon App Store, and I would have to find a different way to install it. The Fire HD 8 Plus's main function is to plug you into the Amazon ecosystem as easily as possible, and it does a great job in that respect. The Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 Lite tries to be the best all-around Android tablet of the three. It has full access to all the apps available on the Google Play Store, and it's a solid performer with media consumption such as movies, music, and games. Samsung also does a decent job with Android updates, which is important for security reasons, as well as keeping tablets feeling fresh with access to new features. The Samsung also has a very premium feel and look to it. The aluminum backing and glass display feels solid, and I would say the Samsung is the best looking tablet out of the three. It also has the largest screen, which is a plus for the best bang for your buck crowd, but possibly a negative for the easy to use and travel with crowd. No matter how you feel about the bigger screen, it definitely is a battery hog. Potential buyers should be aware that the Samsung had the fastest battery drain in our tests, and the slowest battery charging when using the horrible included 7.75 watt charging adapter. The Lenovo Tab M8 is a very affordable option for tablet users who use a lot of simple Android apps in their everyday life. Like the Samsung, it has access to the Google Play Store. I found its gaming performance comparable to the other two tablets, but as far as movie watching, I can't give it a recommend. I couldn't get a clean looking video on the screen, and the lack of stereo speakers has a negative impact on audio performance. It can still play all videos, and the Lenovo was in the middle for battery performance while binging, but the other two tablets delivered a much better experience in this regard. The Lenovo does have a premium build to it, and at the time this video is being published, it's $50 cheaper than the other two tablets, which does give it a big cost advantage. That about wraps it up for this comparison. If you're looking for the best tablet that you can use to binge watch the most movies and shows on one battery charge, go for the Amazon. If you're looking for an all-around Android tablet with a bigger screen, then you can go for the Samsung. But be sure to use a 15-watt charging adapter to get quicker charge times. If you're looking for an affordable tablet that can run all the Android apps that you use on a day-to-day basis, and video and audio quality is not your top concern, then you can go for the Lenovo. But be sure it's the 3rd gen Lenovo M8 Tab, so you get the 3GB of memory. I've only seen it for sale from Walmart.com. If you want to see more data on these three tablets, I took some measurements of the three displays using CalMan software that you can check out in this video here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Comment below and let us know what you think about these three tablets, and we'll see you in the next video.